All right, that time the show where we take it across to Sunil Singhania, get in his views. Hi, good afternoon, Sunil. Here's wishing you a very happy Diwali, taking that opportunity to wish you. But Sunil, talk to us about what the next year is likely to bring in, according to you. We've severely underperformed the global markets. When you're looking at markets across geographies, they've outperformed India. Do you believe this year could be India's year in terms of the outperformance?
Happy Diwali again to you and all the viewers of ET Now. Yes, on a one-year basis, what you're saying is right. But I wish life was so easy, and every year we could, have a very linear kind of returns. I think one year, obviously, quite a few countries have outperformed. One interesting thing, obviously, has been apart from the headwinds which we saw in India, which was a little bit of slowdown in earnings and also tariff related, plus India Pakistan issue related, all the temporary headwinds. We also saw the world move to the new age companies. And the markets which have done well obviously offered foreign investors an opportunity to invest in these new age companies. So for example, you take Taiwan. The largest company is now almost 60% of the market. So that was one company which was the semiconductor company which took the market up in its stride. So I think it's been a very different kind of year. And I think despite all this, equity markets have given you higher than fixed income returns. As we move forward, a lot of the headwinds have converted into tailwinds. We have the central bank, which is pro-growth. We have the government pushing by way of stimulus to the extent of almost 2.5 lakh crores. World is a little bit more peaceful. Liquidity is available in plenty. The GST cut has meant that demand has come back, and we are seeing that on the ground. And I think finally on the tariff front also, there is silver lining, and we are very confident that before 25 comes to an end, we will have clarity there also. So I think finally, after maybe 2 years of slow profit growth, the second half of financial year 26 and continuing to financial year 27 should be great as far as corporate profitability is also concerned. So I think all in all, good times ahead.
So what are the themes you're playing for in the coming Samvat?
I think I don't know whether we can play for 3 months or 6 months, but I think the thought continues. I think the financials space is already buzzing with a lot of activity. We always talk about FI outflows, but over the last 1 month, we have seen such huge deals come in the financial services space, and we are also very optimistic, not only in banks, but also NBFCs and also non-fund-based financials like wealth, asset management, insurance companies, and so on and so forth. I think pharma is underperformed for some while. We're quite optimistic there. Discretionary consumption, again, something which we like. Smaller sectors, chemicals, metals, again, is something which we like. I think we are a little bit value conscious, but we can't wish away from the fact that our spending habits are changing. So, I think we have started tracking the new age companies a little bit more closely. But let's see, they're still very expensive. But I think that is also some place where we will not be able to ignore for a long time. So I think it's a mix of a lot of theme sectors. I think engineering also is coming to a decent sort of a level. And hopefully if CapEx picks up, the earnings growth there also should pick up quite meaningfully.
And at least that's the space you've been tracking very, very closely, right? From IT services to now consumer tech, the world has evolved. It's changed our daily lives. And now you wonder, how did you even live without these apps, right? What within this entire pool, which is expanding pretty much on a daily basis, one of them has already made it to the index, and I'm sure there are many waiting in the offing as well. What do you think? How do you think consumer tech is going to evolve? And from an investor perspective, what's looking attractive?
So, well, this segment is basically, I would call it as India's hyperscalers. And within that, quick commerce is essentially demonstrating the highest growth. Just imagine, 150% growth. I have never seen a category grow at that pace for so long. Now, you could argue that, it's still kind of not making money and things of that kind, but the unit economics are firmly established. I still believe that quick commerce has a long way to go. And just look at it within that. Over the last 1 year, we've really seen the biggest quick commerce companies' market cap kind of pull ahead of essentially the most efficient retailer in India. Just look at it. I mean, one could have never imagined this
Imagined
3 years
that.
ago.
Yeah.
Okay, and even and at a scale which is still a trickle of what the potential could be. So I clearly believe that that's one space which I think is going to essentially kind of grow and maybe become massively big over the next 5 to 10 years. The only challenge here essentially is that in the very short term, you'll have to deal with a lot of competition. Because the
There'll be
giants,
disruption,
the
yeah.
giants have woken
Yeah.
up, and then
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
had somebody like a Rapido come in with new
Yeah, yeah.
infusion, and they're going to basically try and take a shot at the space. But the pie is so big enough that it doesn't matter. You give 1%, 5% market share to somebody else, you cede ground, but the space, if it's growing at this 50, 100, 150%, doesn't matter. You're still going to grow at a massive premium to rest of the businesses. So I clearly believe that this space, it's done very well. Last 1 year, 3 years, post the lows of 21 or 22, it's done very well. But I think these are things which don't get over in a year or two. These are big structural themes. These are mega cycles. They last for 5, 10 years at least.
And if you look at growth, from growth point of view, you're right there. But how do you look at profitability path as well in this? Because at some point in time, the investor would ask about profitability.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
while you have been able to cross the biggest retailer in terms of market
Right.
cap, when will you reach the profitability of that retailer as well?
Yes. So the challenge here always, or essentially it's discretionary. You essentially, the operator itself or the player itself is deciding at what pace I want to grow. So they can surely deliver profits if they decide, okay, fine, we are going to grow at 15, 20, 25%. The option or the choice for them is, do we grow at 15% or we grow at 150%? That's the choice. So it's very easy for them to kind of show profits, but that would be a bad business strategy. Because when you choose to grow only at 15% and show profits to please all of us as investors, you are going to cede ground to essentially other players. You're going to make room for the others to really come in. So it's kind of trying to build a moat for the future. And I think that's the most important element out there.
Yeah. Sunil, how are you viewing the entire consumer tech space and also AI, right? I mean, we've already seen that deal wherein Google is now going to be building a mega data center in Vizag here on Indian land. How do you think is the best way to play this entire AI theme now?
So Aisha, we cannot, as I said, wish away from the fact that our spending habits have changed. And the best way of analyzing that is, just assessing where we were spending money maybe 10 years back, where we were spending money 5 years back, and where we are spending today. And of course, where we would be spending after 10 years. And, some of these things, as you rightly mentioned, have now got so ingrained in our daily habits that we just can't live without it. Having said that, I think, these are trends which grow very fast. But because of the huge market caps they are deriving, I think it leads to a huge competition also. So earlier, competition used to come in when there was a big chunk or big pool of profits. I think now competition comes in when the pool of market cap is very large. And therefore, we should also be aware that a lot of these businesses will have competition from really large players also coming. But as I rightly said earlier, that we have been a little bit value conscious, and therefore we have avoided these themes and stocks. But I think now unit economics, profitability is in place, and we just have started to look at them a little bit more constructively. In terms of other businesses like data centers, semiconductors, AI, maybe even renewables, I think all of them are mega trends. There is absolutely no doubt about it. At the same time, unfortunately, as far as India is concerned, right now we don't have any innovative companies in this space. So the best way to play it is maybe support functions or ancillaries to this whole businesses. And I think even on the data center side, there are a lot of ancillaries which will benefit out of it. Maybe some developer of data centers, some ancillary suppliers, because right now chips, CPUs, servers are still going to be coming from overseas. So I think, but it's a trend which we have to completely be on top, because this is going to be the space which I said earlier. The spending 5 years, 10 years down the line will be very different from where it is today. So very interesting space, but right now not too many names where you can look at on the listed space.
Too nascent. So, Sunil, if I were to ask you, other than consumer tech, where is it that you actually see a structural story play out for the next 5 years? What would that theme be?
No, as I mentioned, I think tech is ingrained in our life. I think fintech is a part already of our life. We hardly go to banks now. So in some way it is there. Ed tech, we had some mishaps in the past, but, when you see youngsters, I think they're all on online, lectures and so on and so forth. It is going to be a part of our life. I think medtech, all our reports are all over the place. Why can't they be stored properly in one place and AI can be used to analyze them and the changes in those reports over a period of time. So I think it is going to be a part across. And as I said, I think all this would mean more data, more processing, more energy, and I think all these are going to be super trends. So as I said, AI, obviously India does not have too many right now, but we will evolve. Data centers for sure. I think anything to do with semiconductors, renewables for sure, because everything you do, your energy is going to be the key requirement. And I think we'll have to just, as I said, keep on tracking them and keep on evolving. At this point of time, there are no straight answers that these are the themes you look at from a 1-2 years perspective, because there is still a lot of evolution which has to happen.
What, Sunil? I would have thought that capital markets would be that one structural theme. It's played out really well. I thought that's something that you would structurally believe
I
in.
think asset and wealth management companies are the best way to play, and we are fortunate we are in that because, I think the country is getting richer. People are saving structurally, and this is one business where if you're established, I think growth is pretty good as well as, capital requirement once you achieve scale is very less. So, I think there's no doubt about it. I think that is one of the best themes to play.
Yeah, here's congratulating you. The last year has been very auspicious for you, Sunil, and now we're going to have a mutual fund.
Thanks a lot. Mutual fund means obviously more opportunity, but also a lot of work. So, the feelings are mixed, but we'll try to do our best.
Yes, and a lot of responsibility as well. But good luck, Sunil. Great having you, and here's wishing you festival greetings once again from all of us.
You too, Aisha, and everyone at ET now.
Thank you.